What's up, guys? Welcome to our happy channel, where we have happy thoughts and we just talk about fun little hobby things. Nice little hobby products.
Yeah.
And Jay tries not to be too mean about the products.
No, I have to sell them at the end of the day, so I can't be
too mean. So today we're going to take a look at the new AK Playmarkers, which, quite frankly, it's kind of a cool thing that I'm very excited about. We have not tried them yet. We wanted to save we're saving ourselves for you guys.
A lot of these videos are just like
raw.
We're just raw. It's just using it out of the jar. So sometimes we use it wrong. Sometimes we don't know what we're doing. We just try and.
I think we can figure out a marker. I really hope we can.
If we can't figure out a marker, then there's no hope for this product. If we can't. So. Maybe we're too pretentious brush users that this is.
Well, we're definitely pretentious. That's for darn sure. So what is this? This is essentially. This is the funny thing about this is, like, we were kind of laughing maybe a year ago. Is like, is this a solution searching for a problem?
Right.
A little bit, you know. But some of the initial feedback I've gotten from people is that it legitimately is very easy to use. Mm-hmm. So. The idea that you can, and you'll see with us like demoing them here, the fact that you can just like squirt some paint into the nozzle, start painting your mini, and then put a cap on it and walk away. There's no palette, there's no paint left over. Like it's very clean in that regard.
Yeah.
And I guess the only thing that remains to be seen is essentially like how good quality is and how easy are they to paint with.
And what is they tell us how much is in here?
How much mils? We got acrylic paint made for modeling. Yep.
Brush tip, fast dry, waterproof. Can't be used on plastic.
So the tip is waterproof, I guess.
Yeah.
There can be used on plastic, resin, metal, and wooden surfaces. I imagine you probably need to prime them first.
Maybe.
You can obviously, so it's acrylic paint, so you can layer it on, that sort of thing. And press the rear button until the tip is soaked. This tip can be cleaned with water. Cool.
All right.
So just from other people who use them, they say one pump is usually good enough to get going. If you do 2 pumps, you get a little bit of dripping happening.
Sure.
So we're gonna mess around with these on a black miniature. We've got the metallics here today, which I think are probably the most interesting ones, because a lot of people I think want to know if these are good or not. Like using them for like trim and weapons and that sort of stuff makes a lot of sense, right?
So let's do it.
All right.
Chris is gonna, or am I gonna give me?
What do you want to try?
Give me that gold. Let's see, gold on prime black.
Brass.
Brass. Sure.
Bronze or gold. Let's go gold.
Gold. The gold.
Dun 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 dun.
All right. Freshly open.
Yep.
There's your never used.
Okay. Yeah, so it feels like a brush, a synthetic brush almost.
Synthetic brush. Yeah. Yep. Do we need to shake these?
No. You just.
Don't even have to shake it.
Pump it.
There's something.
Doesn't say shake.
Does.
He's already not following instructions.
Oh, I have
Did you push it?
I'm pushing it.
Is there a clicking mechanism here? Oh yeah.
Oh, is it a cap on the back?
Oh, there's a cap.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's childproof and we can't use it.
They don't want you just pumping for just like. Oh,
one pump.
Oh.
Did you 2 pump it?
No. I just push the button.
Give it a second. Let it sink and then.
Let it go
to the tip and then there's a good amount of paint coming out there.
Oh yeah, I pushed too hard.
You did a big push. Did it say big push on the?
I don't know. This is weird actually, but the whole brush isn't saturated, so maybe I gotta do a little.
No, don't pump it again.
Don't.
Give it a second.
Okay, I'm using gravity here.
Yeah. You just gotta give it a sec to flow. Okay. Try going on a shoulder pad now.
Okay.
If you can. See how it goes.
This is stupid.
That's just stupid.
It's fine. No, you need to get on the tip.
It's not on the tip yet?
No.
Okay, just a little pump.
I did a little. Okay. You're so like scared of this.
Well, I don't want it to like go everywhere or whatever.
I don't want. No.
Some user error going on already.
Well, this is like I said, raw. This is going to happen to anyone who uses this thing
for the first time.
Like I think I needed to just.
Oh, it's dripping now.
We got a little drip.
Happening.
Okay.
Mm.
I think once you get it going, maybe. Okay.
Okay, it's starting to flow a bit better.
It's getting some flow now. Yeah. What's this going? Well, this particular gold I'm not in love with off the cuff.
It's a yellowy gold, so these typically don't cover amazing.
This does not cover super amazing, but it is kind of like using a brush. It's just the paint. You don't have to go back and get paint, basically. Okay, it's getting a little better. Once you get the flow going,
it's getting better.
Yeah, I think this is still a 2-coat thing.
Keep in mind it is over black, so
Yeah,
it's
well, metallics usually want to go in black, right?
Yep.
So
that looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna start preparing silver here because silver will be pretty telling as well.
Still,
Gunmetal. That's
the gunmetal should go on pretty easy. Yeah, once you get the flow going, it's a lot better. It just I hadn't mastered the pump, so to speak. Yeah, I'm just gonna but otherwise using it is like very easy. Like you just kind of just paint. It's like they call it a marker because the paint's like built in. It actually does dry quite fast. This is already starting.
Oh, that's great. Well, it is acrylic water paint, so yeah, it should be.
I thought it would take longer. I would still give this this metallic extra time because otherwise I fear it will tear.
Well, you don't want to tear at it, yeah.
But okay, yeah.
Cool. Let's get some paint on here.
Cap back on.
Yeah, slam the cap back on, and you're just basically good. That's the crazy thing, right?
There's 2 caps to put on, so you don't want to lose the back cap.
All right, let's take a peek here.
I think this one will go on a lot easier. Yeah, that one's gonna just slam on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's like a lot, eh?
I put a little bit, maybe too much.
I was getting chirped for my pump.
And I did this exact same thing that I told him not to do.
Yeah.
Which is pretty true of our relationship, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the gunmetal is why use it? You're not supposed to use the paper towel. No, I'm joking. I don't know.
I did it wrong.
I don't know. Yeah, but yeah. Obviously, I think getting used to how much to pump the thing is a big thing for sure. But the gunmetal is going on real fast.
Looks really good.
But here's kind of the issue here. Well, but like to keep in mind is that this part you got a lot on. How do you push that around without getting more? So you have to kind of get.
Yeah. So I feel like if you overload the tip too much.
Yeah.
That's going to be an issue for you, right? Because you can get these little bit of blobs, and you got to move it around.
This is also a relatively small problem to fix. Is if you just have any extra brush lying around, you can just wick that away. 100%. You're fine. So it's not really a problem.
I'm not super worried about it, but so let's just take a little bit off the tip.
Chris is still like rolling the tip into a towel.
And I want to see how like precise we can get here, because I know a lot of people are going to be wondering.
Yeah.
How detailed can you get?
Well, you can make the little quill on the gun.
Oh yeah, true.
Which is like small but not too bad. You should be able to do that. Pretty.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to do like this trim on a Space Marine with this brush, provided you don't have like too much flow going in.
That's the difficulty. That's the difficulty. Yeah.
Yeah, let's try.
I would still broad stroke as much as like you could with this. How is this gold looking? Is this? I would give the gold like literally another 5-10 minutes before I would even attempt the second coat. Yeah, it's kind of tacky and still sticky. So, like the way it's drying is pretty good, and it looks better than originally once I got the flow going. But the gunmetal is fantastic. Yeah,
this is the copper. And I've just done one pump here, and it seems to have like soaked into one side here.
As long as you get a piece of the brush. There you go.
Yeah, it's kind of like the gold, like
a little thin.
You're probably going to want you might want a second coat on there. You're definitely going to want a second coat on
there. If you got like 5 or 10 dudes on the run, like you can do this step quite fast. And the fact that we're not spending any time rinsing brushes, reconstituting the tip as much. Like you can start banging out these steps.
Totally.
So
these are there's a whole bunch of different colors. I think there's like 24, 30 colors.
Yeah. If you get the right amount, this one's covering okay. Actually, it's not as bad as the gold was by far the worst.
Which is not unusual for yellowy gold.
No,
to be honest.
No.
So
yeah. I mean, if you grabbed Citadel. Gehenna's gold or something or whatever. Like
It does seem though it does take a minute for the pump to really take effect.
Yeah.
So we're probably rushing it a little bit here hastily, but now that it's actually gone more to the tip, it is covering better as well.
It's better. Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So yeah, overall pretty cool. It is not bad at all. I would still say the only thing that I would be like having to get used to is getting too much in a spot. But even when it's drying here, like let's see the back. Yeah, it's a little pooled, but
yeah,
you can get fixed that. Pretty bright too. They're not.
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice colors.
Pretty vibrant.
The fact that you can just chuck that lid back on and
that's what they say.
And
that's what they say.
I've already had a friend apparently use these for a few days. He went back to the marker and the paint was fine to use on the brush.
So the real thing I'm going to see is like later in this video, I'm going to go back to the second coat of gold and see how that tip feels right away. Like, can I just use it right away or what? But this is good. Nice.
Especially the gunmetal, right?
All right, what else we got?
You want to try another color?
Yeah, let's try.
You got like bronze?
We only have metals, or do we?
Bronze, brass. No, we just got metals today.
Oh, I see.
We'll do another video covering some of the colors.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
I still feel like I should shake this.
You can't help it. Eh? It does do a little like funny.
You know what? I can't imagine it hurts.
No. I can't.
Let's see if I can do this correctly this time. What did you did one big pump?
I pumped and I held it for like a second and then let go. Yeah.
That's it.
And then I just let it go for.
I think I'm just not good at this. Okay, there we go. I think you want to see that bead come out and like really.
Right.
Yeah. A little bit. There you go. Yeah. This bronze color is nice.
It's not usually the color I think of when I think of bronze, but it is a nice color.
I got too strong of a pump. This is going to take some getting used to.
You overpumped, eh?
I overpumped.
I knew you would.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
that's like a dark copper almost, it feels like, color-wise, no?
Yeah.
I mean, bronze is a weird color. It
can
present itself in a lot of different ways. It's covering really well, though.
It is.
Super nice.
It is. And like, if I wanted to be like mega fast, like I could just start like slamming this on.
Right.
And covering this whole foot like really quick. So if you want to like think about it that way, I do again still fear a little bit of getting too much.
Right.
But you know what? It doesn't run on the model too badly. It kind of just stays put. So maybe. I don't know. I'm still undecided if this will be in my like main repertoire.
If you're going to use it or not, yeah.
But,
I can definitely see people liking these.
This is good.
Like for a lot of people, I think this is going to be a thing that they might want to start trying out.
Like that one on pretty easy, and I think also it's deceptive. It looks like it does dry.
I think you're forgetting too, Jay. Like the other thing too is like when people are newer to painting, they already are struggling to figure out like mixing ratios and how much paint to put on their brush, and like this has some of those issues. Yeah. But to those people, like it's not going to be any harder than figuring out how their brush works, right?
Exactly.
This is the brass. Holy cow, that looks nice.
That's a nice color.
Woo! Look at the coverage.
I can already see. I think Renee's going to like this one. She's been using this color. Oh, they're sisters.
Whoa.
That's cool.
That's a great color. It's like a good washed out gold.
It's like,
old gold.
Wow.
Super nice.
Neat.
Like you said, you can get the paint on there really quickly.
Like if you start like really moving, yeah. Maybe,
Yeah, and I mean,
almost like, it's funny thing is like if I had my like, and this would be too complicated probably, like I almost wish there was a way to pump it from like closer up here where you could control the flow, or if there was like a knob or something that could control the flow, like limit the flow,
right?
I would be much happier with it personally. Just like that's the main. It's a bit like airbrushing where there's like you push this thing and the paint just goes. So you have to just like make it work. You don't really, but I guess they formulated the paint to not be too runny. So the only thing you have to keep in mind is just be careful not to like glob it too much, but otherwise
I'd probably have a spare brush on hand just to
Yeah.
just to tap away some of the color. That's probably the only thing.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
How's this? Okay, I'm gonna attempt a second cold. It's cool. It's been like over 5 minutes, 10 minutes almost. Okay, no pump and straight in here. Let's see if that's fine.
you did shake it though.
I shook a little.
Nowhere on the marker does it say.
It
shake
does
the
not say
marker.
shake. It does not. It does not. But yeah, it's still working. So that we like put it on the I left it on
And
the
like
table.
acrylic paint, right? Like it should be dry.
I left it on the table. The tip is still working,
Yeah,
and the second coat is going on much
better.
much better. And because I'm not goofing around with the pump or whatever, it's like the flow is fine. I'm not.
This is probably the only color out of the set that isn't like amazingly like good coverage out of the bottle.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was saying before, it is very typical of this particular tone of gold to be a bit of a pain.
It's a yellow gold.
Yeah. Yellow is the worst.
Yeah. But you know what? It went on. It didn't tear or screw up the bottom layer. The sad news is I might need a third coat but I think at this point I would let it dry. I would give it a wash and then I would just move on with my life, like highlight or something.
For sure.
Silver was by far the easiest.
Gunmetal is like
Gunmetal was like
very useful.
bulletproof. They probably put all their R&D into that one. This bronze went on quite nice because it's not too bright. The brass was also good, but you could use a little bit more in some spots. But overall, but you were also like going fast.
I think I was going fast, and I think to your point, if you're going to slam a wash on top of these,
you don't have to.
I probably wouldn't bother with a second coat on a lot of these colors.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see this. What are we at? Where's it? This is bronze. Let me see. Let me see that brass color again.
The brass one.
I gotta see this.
Brass. Yeah.
This guy's becoming. I keep shaking. I can't stop.
You can't not doing it. Yeah,
Someone's gonna be like, "You keep doing it wrong."
Yeah.
This guy's quickly becoming my random demo guy because he's like, I inherited it and he's like built poorly, so I'm just gonna use him for stuff here, like, you know, maybe you like base coat your model and then you just. I almost feel like you pump the thing and then you go for a walk and you like come back, you know, because then the pressure.
I mean,
pressure inside has like equalized. And you're not getting this like crazy rush of paint. Like this is now beautiful.
To give it a bit of a benefit of a doubt, like that's probably fair because the first pump is like going to be very uneven and
especially like the very first one. Because now I'm like, this is what I would normally do is like, I might airbrush my guy red.
Yeah.
And now I'm like painting
in
details, and this is nice.
That's fantastic.
And like, what does this take me like?
The fact that you're not having to go back to your palette to load.
Dude, I'm gonna finish both sides of this guy.
You're gonna bang that out very quickly.
It's gonna take me less than a minute.
Wow.
You know.
That's so cool. And look at the flow.
The flow is good.
Yeah, this is pretty money actually.
You know, it's a little.
I mean, it's a big tip, right? So it's not a small brush. So you do have to kind of think about.
I wonder how they experiment. They probably like the little tip doesn't come like flow the paint out enough.
Probably.
Right? Or this kind of like broad stroke thing I'm doing. I'm like, okay. Nice.
Pretty cool.
My other thing I'm seeing here, the tip is pretty long, but you might have some trouble getting it really tight. So if you're an OCD person, sorry.
Yeah, but if you're an OCD person, this product's probably not going to be.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe you're probably not even getting off the starting line, to be honest.
This hobby's hard if you're OCD.
This hobby's hard if you're OCD. Like right here, like this here, there's like on the other side, on the underneath, like this is going to be, because the brush is like
it's fat.
Thick.
It's a chunky boy.
It's chunky, like the handle is enormous. So I managed to get in there, but it's like that could be, I have to consider that. Or I would just like do that with a brush later because it's an inconspicuous spot. But that was pretty quick and not so painful.
The colors look good, and that's something to be said. I think that's really important. Is like if the marker worked great but the color sucked, or it didn't look sharp or cover well, like I think these are all things that are important to point out. Like the colors are nice. The colors are really nice. They're very usable colors.
It's an AK color, right?
Yeah, well that's just it, right?
So you kind of like
You kind of figure, move it up a bit. It's blocked out by our faces.
Yeah, I'm trying.
It's working on the.
I'm trying to paint
front
like a
mask and
detail or something, and it's
Yeah.
like I could see myself doing this.
To block in these colors for sure.
And yeah, and keep in mind, Jay and I have not used these before, so this is our first time. So there's going to always be any sort of adjustment to using these.
Like I'm trying to find something really small that you're like probably like this. There's like a maybe this little. Maybe I can get this little buckle. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a little messy, but I'd probably make that mistake with a brush too. To be honest, like some of these little things that are. Like I tend to like hit them and then go back and clean them up. So
Yeah.
I think because the paint flies off the tip so easily, it actually is not so bad. Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. What's the verdict? What do you think?
It's good.
Is this yeah?
It's good. Yeah.
You feel okay selling this to people?
I would feel yeah, no problem recommending selling it to people. I would say give it a pump and wait, come back a few minutes. It's like pump it, close the cap, come back in 2 minutes, and then start going. Let all that air pressure, whatever is going on in there, like settle down. That would be my like only tip with that. And from a detail perspective, it's not bad. You would like more. Like an even finer tip, I think, would be like if I had to give it to get it to a 10 out of 10 product, is if it had that like.
You almost feel like though
or if they had an accessory that you could buy.
There's almost gonna be like trade-offs, right? Like if you go to a smaller tip, it's probably not going to be as good for doing all the other stuff.
Maybe
whatever.
yeah.
Maybe there's a second wave of fine tipped ones.
That could be a thing.
Who
I
knows,
would
right?
also say maybe there is what's the word? Like a month from now or weeks from now or multi-uses, like how does the brush actually stand up after like a real amount of time passes, not just like one or 2 days or a few uses, like because you're probably not going to finish the marker that they didn't tell us how. I think there's a product brief about how much is in here.
I'll have to look into that, but
it's
there's a good amount of paper.
There's a good amount like at least a regular jar's worth, I think assume.
Yeah, so what we'll do is what we normally do on this channel, even though it's a brand new channel.
Yeah, we intend to do.
One of our first videos we made was about the Army Painter Fanatic piece, and sort of like a looking back.
Yes,
and that's definitely part of the channel that we want to do. Is if we do review a product, we're going to check in on it every like once in a while and be like, has our thoughts changed at all, or like, or do we like it even more or less than we thought before? So
yeah. So like that's it. How does the tip stand up to the end of the day?
And next week we'll do a video on the colors. Like we'll do some of the colors, like grab like a yellow one, a blue one, and a red one, and just kind of mess around with.
So that one will be interesting because we can give it the will it blend test. So
yeah, and I mean it's not like they're advertising that's what their use is for, so that would be more of a bonus. But like that would be cool to just goof around with
putting something through its paces. More than it's advertised. Yeah. Anyway,
so I feel like I could recommend this to someone who's newer to painting, or just someone who paints a lot and does armies and wants an easy way to apply metallic colors to in broad stroke format. Seems
it's good,
pretty usable.
It's a good product.
Yeah, what do you guys think based on the views? Have you played with it yourself yet? Used them at all? What are your thoughts? And you can let us know in the comments. And if you like these videos, give us a subscribe. We appreciate it. It's a new channel. And if you really like it, you can go check us out on Patreon, where we take suggestions for future videos. You can support us if you feel so inclined. And we do have some unique content on there as well. So you can check that out. Thanks. Until next time.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.